Okay, guys, you've probably heard of the infamous 3-day rule in Pattaya. It's an unwritten guideline that seasoned visitors swear by, and today I'm going to share a story that perfectly illustrates why. This was submitted by a young German guy who broke the rule, and let's just say he learned his lesson the hard way. So let's jump into it. I'm a 25-year-old guy from Germany, and this is my story about a bar girl I met in Pattaya. Most people who visit know about the 3-day rule. Never spend more than 3 days with the same bar girl. It's a simple rule, but as you'll see, breaking it can lead to some unexpected consequences. This was my first trip to Pattaya, and I was a total newbie to the scene. Fresh off the plane and ready for adventure, I had heard all about the nightlife, the bar girls, and the wild stories that came from this city. I wanted to experience it all firsthand. My plan was simple: enjoy my time, meet new people, and follow the 3-day rule religiously. For the first 2 weeks, I did exactly that. I would spend my days hopping from one bar to another, chatting with different girls, paying their bar fines, and spending time with them for the day. I never stayed with the same girl more than once. That was until I met Nan. She was one of those girls standing outside the bars, calling out to passers-by with the classic handsome man, "Come inside." At first I ignored her, but my friend convinced me to step in for a quick game of pool. From the moment we started talking, I could tell she was different. She was full of energy, playful, and spoke decent English. Unlike some of the other girls who barely made conversation, Nan was lively and engaging. She was exactly my type: stunning, slim, and a party girl through and through. So without hesitation, I paid her bar fine, and off we went for a night of fun. But that night took a turn I didn't expect. After a couple of bars, I suddenly felt sick, feverish, dizzy, and weak. Maybe it was something I ate, or the extreme shift between air-conditioned bars and the sweltering Pattaya heat. Either way, my body wasn't cooperating. My friends noticed I looked like a ghost and insisted I go to the hospital, but I stubbornly refused. I was on vacation. I wasn't going to let a little fever ruin my trip. Nan, however, took charge. She ran to a pharmacy, got me some medicine, and insisted on taking care of me for the night. The next few days, I was completely bedridden. Fever, exhaustion. I was out of commission. And surprisingly, Nan stayed by my side the entire time. She brought me food, kept checking my temperature, and even placed cool towels on my forehead while I slept. She had already been paid, but she never once asked for more money or tried to leave. Over those few days, we talked a lot. She opened up about her life, her past relationship with a controlling Thai man, her child living with her mother in Isan, and her dreams of saving enough money to open a small shop. She was independent, driven, and surprisingly uninterested in finding a foreign husband. She made it clear this was just a job for her, and honestly, I respected that. When I finally recovered, I was excited to go out again. Naturally, I took Nan with me. That night, after a few drinks, she joked that since I had paid her for 4 nights and we hadn't done anything yet, we had some catching up to do. And well, let's just say we didn't get much sleep that night. The next morning, my friends and I planned a trip to Bangkok to check out Sud Cowboy. When I told Nan I'd be leaving for a few days, she just scoffed and said, "All for rain lie, they never come back." She told me about an American pilot who promised to marry her, only for her to find out he wasn't a pilot at all, but a married factory worker. She had heard every promise before, so she had no reason to believe mine. But I did come back. We had planned to stay in Bangkok for a few days, but after just one night, I realized Sud Cowboy wasn't my scene. It was overpriced, packed with tourists, and honestly, the girls there didn't compare to Pattaya, so I returned sooner than expected. I walked into Nan's bar, expecting her to be happy to see me. Instead, she looked at me with pure suspicion. "Why you lied to me?" she asked, arms crossed. Confused, I told her I hadn't lied. I really had gone to Bangkok, but we just came back early. She didn't believe me. She thought I had stayed in Pattaya with another girl and used Bangkok as an excuse. After some convincing, she finally dropped it, and we went back to our usual fun nights out. But something had changed. I didn't realize it at first, but I was catching feelings for Nan. I had never wanted a serious relationship. Not in Thailand and not back home. Love wasn't something I was looking for. Yet here I was, not wanting her to leave in the mornings, not wanting to leave Pattaya because of her. It scared me. So I did what I thought was. That night, I sat her down and told her everything. I told her I was catching feelings and that I didn't want to get emotionally attached to a bar girl. She didn't take it well. She asked if she had done something wrong. I told her no, it was. She sat in silence for a while before quietly saying, "You just used me because I take care of you when you're sick." I told her that wasn't true, but she wasn't convinced. Eventually, she agreed to stay the night one last time. We got snacks, watched a Thai movie I couldn't understand, and and tried to enjoy our last moments together. Halfway through the movie, she started crying. I asked why, and she simply said, "You bad man." I tried to explain, but she wouldn't listen. She said she never lets herself fall for anyone, but she had fallen for me, and now I was breaking her heart. The next morning, we said our final goodbyes, and even though I knew ending it was the right thing to do, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had just lost something special. So my friends, if you ever find yourself in Pattaya, remember the 3-day rule. It exists for a reason.